All right, this is to finish out the examples in 2A2. Like I said, most of it is just this percent equation that we went over in class. I'll try and make that a little more clear. It's right here. The is over of equals percent over 100. So we did the first two here, 5 and 6 in class. So we're going to pick up with number 7. It says, what is, so we don't know the is, 15%, notice that's a percentage, of 92. So is, I don't know, over of, which is 92, equals the percentage out of 100. So we cross multiply here, that would be 100x equals, and then we need to do 92 times 15. So 92 times 15 is 1,380. 1,380. Divide that by 100. And we're going to get that the following is our answer once I do the division. It's 13.8. So again, you can kind of say that in a statement to see how it makes sense. 13.8 is 15% of 92. Okay. All right. So that was the how do you do it part. So let's do some of the Kahoot questions together. So it says, what number is 132% of 45? So let's see if we can work this one out real quick together. So I've got, I don't know the is, what number, percentage I have, and the of 45. So x over the 45 is over of equals percent over 100. Get my calculator handy, and you'll kind of get a feel for these cross multiplication problems after a while. You do the two numbers that are across from each other, multiply together. So that's the 132 times the 45. And then we divide by the number that is across from the variable. So that's going to be divided by 100. I get 59.4. So on my student side over here, because I'm playing as a student as well, I'm going to choose the blue diamond, which is correct. Okay. For our next question, we said 821 is 200%, 10% of what number? So I have my is this time, because 821 is. I have my percent. I'm missing the of what number? So is over of, which we don't know, is percent over 100. So again, we'll get our calculator out. We'll do 821 times 100 because those numbers are in the diagonal across from each other when we cross multiply. Divide that by the 210, which is across from the x. And we're going to get 390 and we're rounding to the nearest 100. So that's going to be 390.95, which is the red triangle for the correct answer. Okay. And remember, you can read that in a sentence if you need to. 821 is 210% of 390.95. Because we're doing more than 100%, it makes sense that the part is actually bigger than the whole because we are more than 100% of our item. Okay. So this last question in this part, before we get some extras to do together on notes, is a slider problem. We didn't get to do this in class, so I kind of wanted to show you how one of these works. It says 8.25%, so that's our percent of what number, so I don't know my of, is the $7.26. So is over of equals percent over 100. We'll get our calculator out. So we're doing 100 times the 7.26, and then dividing that by 8.25 comes out to exactly 88. So if you were doing a slider problem, you would use your finger to slide to the correct spot, make sure it's highlighting that number, and then submit. And it's going to slide around and show us the correct answer in just a second. So we'll have some more of these types in future notes. So that's how you do a slider problem, in case you hadn't encountered one of those before. All right. So my next piece is just a couple more problems on the notes part instead of having you do the Kahoot. So we have these say set up the percent proportion and then solve, round to the nearest whole number if needed. In a tree planting project, 300 of, so of the 410 trees, notice that's of is of the whole, planted, we're still living 1 year later. What percent of trees were still living? Okay, so 300 would be the is in this case, since we already see that the of 410. So we're going to write our 300 over the 410 equals our percent, which we don't know, over 100. Remember, that's always 100. That's a free spot. So then we do 300 times 100 because they're across from each other. And then we always divide by the one that's across from X. So divide by 410. And if we round that to the nearest whole number, that would be 73 trees. Or excuse me, 73%. Sorry, a little too late. So the percent is what we were solving for, not the trees. So it's 73%, which makes sense if you think about it. 3 and add it in 4, it's a little more than 400. Kind of, if it had been 300 over 400, that would have been 75% because that would have reduced to 3/4. So this makes sense. All right, so it says after 4 months, Jasmine lost 9% of her original weight. She lost 15.3 pounds. What was her original weight? So the of is the original weight. So that's the part we're looking for, of her original weight. So that means that what she lost would be the part. So this would be the is. So this is our part of the whole. So she lost 15.3 pounds out of her total weight, which would be 9% out of her total weight. So we're going to cross multiply, do 15.3 times 100, which is 1,530, then divide that by the 9. That'd be 170 pounds is her original weight. So LBS number, you will not be asked to usually write the units in the Newton homework. All right, let's go to our next slide. Find the daily recommended daily amount of protein. Okay, so let's read this. 1 serving of vegetables has 96 grams of protein, which is 30% of the recommended daily amount. So this 96 that they're talking about is 30%. So that means 96 is 30% of the daily recommended amount. So we're trying to find that of part. That's what we're missing. So I would do is over of equals percent over 100. And for some reason, the timer again got messed up on this one. So let's just go ahead and work it before it shows us the answer. To be 96 times 100 and then divided by 30. This one should have been 320. So daily recommended amount of protein according to this would have been 320 grams or just 320. Since, like I said, they don't always ask you to write the units on the Newton part. Okay, so that gets us done with the 2A2. So we'll be picking up on our class together on Thursday with 2A3, finishing out these last 2 parts of 2A, and then we'll be going into our parts for 2B. So I hope that was helpful.